conversations and storytelling helps us connect with each other, teaches us relatable life lessons, and helps us define who we are as humans. Let's talk. This podcast is focused around women from all walks of life, how we grow, navigate, impact the world that we live in to tell the often untold story. The Rise of Woman is a story of loss, growth, triumph, inspiration, fabulous failure, and all in between. Warning, in this podcast, there is cursing and adult content.
Okay, hello, my name is Jazlyn Hester. I'm 26 years old. I am a Pisces gang. My goal is to own a non-profit organization for kids, something like the Boys and Girls Club, in a rural area, basically where they don't have, something where for the kids to go. And you're listening to LRI and Let's Talk podcast.
That's Jazlyn, and in this episode, you will hear the unapologetic story of an educated woman aspiring to be an entrepreneur with close ties to her friends and family that someday dreams of having a family of her own, and so much more.
The reason why you inspire me is because you just left and moved to Texas.
Yeah.
And you have had some trying times and you've been navigating them, and I'm proud of you. So
thank you.
That's why you inspire me. Where did you grow up? Tell me about you growing up, where you grew up.
I grew up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, which is like a very small city in Alabama. There's nothing here but football. That's all we have to offer, really, is football. So I grew up in a football city, two-parent home with a brother and sister. So I'm very, very family-oriented. My brother and sister are my best friends. Growing up, like, me and my sister are more close than my brother. We all have the same mom, but my brother, dad passed away when he was 2. So we're all super, super close, but me and my sister are more close because we stayed in the same home growing up. He stayed with my grandmother. And, yeah, but we're all close. Like, when we were little, like, we traveled a lot. We traveled a lot from Arkansas, Tennessee, all the places in the South. We traveled a lot, and we do sports together, and everything is like we sisters. She do it, I do it. I go somewhere. My parents, type of parents, you want to go to the movies with your friend? Okay, your sister got to go with you too. So she was with me everywhere I go, and that's still how it is now. Like, when we get off work, what you doing? Okay, we meet up. We do the same thing. My brother, he has a family now, but we still in treat with him as well. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, do you consider yourself different from other kids that grew up in the South that particularly are Black women?
I would say more so. Because I don't. That question is kind of hard because sometimes I feel kind of caught up because how my parents are. But because a lot of people don't have their parents to go to, they kind of just do whatever they want to or whatever. But I think it's a blessing, and it's also, kind of cursed because I was kind of babied a lot. So a lot of stuff I had to figure out on my own type stuff. But as far as, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I mean, at first I looked at it like, y'all been hard, y'all been strict or whatever. But as I grow up, I appreciate it so much more. I appreciate it more.
So you told me a little bit about your family and your mom and your dad. Are your parents still together? What's their relationship?
Yes. They are still going strong. Their 21st marriage anniversary is July 24th. So we're about to get ready to celebrate that. We're all going to Panama City for that. They're best friends. So, like, I'm 26. I probably heard my parents argue 3 times. So
right.
There's always goals and what I look up to have sooner. Well, later. Let me say later, not soon. Later.
Oh,
later down the line. Later down the line.
Okay, so what's something that's really quirky about you?
Oh, I'm a lame, man. I guess the older I get, since I've left college and came back home from Texas, I've literally been my own person. I've been by myself. I go to work and I'm always by myself. So I started talking to myself more and stuff like that. So I just been by myself a lot. I'm learning more about myself. I don't know. it's been a different transformation because I was so used to being around so many people all day long. Go to sleep, I'm playing with people all day long. And now it's just always me. So it was a big
What
transformation.
yeah, so what have you learned about yourself?
I'm a big procrastinator. I'm a procrastinator, and that's something I've been working on. I procrastinate. I've been working on my heart because I feel like, I'm a very giving person and I love too hard. And that could be a weakness. That could be a weakness to people take that to advantage or whatever. And I've been working on that too, how to say no and how to do that type stuff. And I've been working on my patience. I just been working on a lot of me stuff that I see that's my problem that's stopping me from where I want to go.
Mm.
So
You seem
that's
very
what I've been working
centered.
on.
Yeah,
Yes.
you seem very centered right now.
Yes.
And yeah, loving too hard can be a weakness, but when you find the right person and God leads you to the right person, it's going to be the biggest strength.
Right.
So one thing that I encourage you to do um, is to keep wearing that weakness because it hurts. But when you
Yeah, it
find the
does.
right person, you don't want all that hurt to infest and infect the right person. And so,
Right.
yeah, play Russian roulette to lose, you know? Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. So what's something that you feel like you failed at?
I feel that yeah, this procrastination thing, because right now we have a I've been wanting to start and working on my, I want to say that I feel that I just want to say that I've been lazy and not been on it, because when I was in college I worked on my own business plan for what I was speaking on earlier, the nonprofit center. And since we're in Tuscaloosa, we have a lot of people just giving out grants and all that good stuff. There's no reason why I shouldn't have my business plan up there already. So like stuff like that, it's just how I sleep on myself. I procrastinate a lot. I wish I just had more. And I have a thing where I have friends that do music and all that stuff. I'm always, y'all get it. I always pushing them, but I don't push myself like that. So I'm
Yeah.
working on that to do the energy that I give them. I need to give it to myself. So that's what I'm working on too.
But yeah, procrastination is a bitch, and people that are givers usually are the best cheerleaders, have the best advice, and you have to you got to go real deep and find it for it to motivate you yourself.
Agree.
Yeah, so that's so crazy. Well, speaking of procrastination and finding love and all that kind of stuff, would you rather be crazy rich or deeply in love?
Crazy rich. Crazy rich. Definitely crazy rich.
Okay, why?
Because the rich will bring the love. Honestly, like, don't nobody want nobody broke. Honestly, like, they'll come. Like, I'd rather be rich and have all of me together and everything I want, then love will come last. Because that way I'll be able to provide for myself and that person and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'd definitely rather be rich than crazy in love.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's a different perspective. I like that. Very interesting. Okay, what has been your biggest challenge as a young adult?
Mm, Stability.
Explain.
Stability. I would say that because right now, after college, I did a lot of moving. I moved from Austin to San Antonio to back at home, and it was just like up and down, up and down, up and down. And my whole thing is just I get really annoyed and irritated when I'm not stable and everything is not my ducks are not in a row, basically. So I feel like that's a big challenge. When my ducks are not in a row, I'm moving crazy. And it's like once I'm organized and I got this in order and that in order, my mind is focused and I'm able to do everything I need to do. But if I'm not stable and everything is not in order, it's not good. It's not good. I
Yeah,
make
so
crazy mistakes.
yeah, so what were you doing like between Austin? You said Austin, San Antonio, Austin, San
Yes.
Antonio, Alabama?
Yes. Yes. I from Austin, Austin was basically too high living at that time. I wasn't just basically able to afford it. And I was in between. I was working at a after school program where I was a supervisor at Becker Elementary. And between there, I was just after school. And then from when I moved to San Antonio, they wanted me to work with the infants and the toddlers. So I was going back and forth with that. And it just all became too much because I didn't have, once again, I wasn't stable. I didn't have a home. I was staying with somebody, which was uncomfortable. So I just said, okay, I'm just going to try it again. I'm just going to go home where I know I'll be okay. So I went home, and then I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm 26. I'm back at home. My parents, like, so I was just like, what the crap am I doing? So that took me for a month. It's like, girl, get your life together, find your job, and get back to where you want to be. So that's how I went with that. But that unstable stuff, yeah, has me going everywhere.
What do you want to be? Where do you want to be at?
I really fell in love with Austin when I went for college, and every time I go back, it's the same feeling. I really, really love Austin. So I want to go back to Austin, and I want to go back to Austin and start my business in Austin. I think that's why I'm like 88% sure that's where I want to live, and that's why I want to live and start my family in Austin.
Okay.
And I want to do the nonprofit organization there as well.
Okay, so what's your nonprofit organization?
It's more, I grew up in a Boys and Girls Club, as you know. Like, I wanted to be something like the Boys and Girls Club, where I could, at the end, offer the kids that's like going to college, offer them scholarships and all that good stuff, so they could have something, you know, to start off with when they go to college. But that's my ultimate goal. I want to do an activity center for kids.
You want to start your family there. What does your family look like in, I don't know, 10 years?
In 10 years.
Let's say you meet somebody and you have a family. What does that person look like? What does the family look like? Is it animals? Is it kids?
No. Oh no, it never be animals. I'm terrified of animals. Never be animals. I'm terrified of kids. I will hopefully have a wife then, and I want one kid. I want a little girl. But I can't, of course, you know, never know what you want to have. But I will hope for a little girl. I thought about adoption. Adoption be my first. I'm terrified of pain. I thought about having a child myself, but I'm a woman. On my first day of my cycle, I die. I don't even have ear piercings, so I'm really a little sissy when it comes to pain. So I'm really a punk when it comes to pain. So I'm thinking about adoption, right? When I'm able and stable enough, financially stable enough, I do want to adopt.
So I heard you say a wife.
Yes.
When did you come out?
Okay.
Did you come out? Tell me your story.
I met my girlfriend in college, my first girlfriend in college. It started off as a game. We was, you know, freshman year, basically, it's a girls' dorm, boys' dorm. Everybody that's a freshman, we all stay on the third floor. We all had this game. Everybody had a wife. Everybody had a girlfriend. We all just played around. But my playing turned into someone that really fell in love with me. So in the midst of her falling in love with me, everyone was telling me, hey, this person's in love with you. She's in love with you. And I'm like, no, she's not. Like, no, she's not. Like at that time, I had a whole boyfriend back at home. So I was just like,
oh, I remember.
Yeah, so I was like, no, she's not. Like, and our relationship with him, he was on a football team. So you know how football players go. So I was just like, whatever with him anyway. So it was like, she's in love. I was like, so I finally said it down. I was like, is this true? And she was just like, yeah. And I was just like, okay. So it went from there, and we were together for 6 years. We was together for 6 years. That was my first and only girlfriend. Now I'm single. I haven't dated anyone since her. Like, I've been dating here and there, but I haven't had another girlfriend since her. That was my first girlfriend.
Do you identify as bisexual or gay
or
non-binary?
No, it's straight lesbian. I don't like guys. I still have guys that are like, you know, saying, hey, you attractive, or, you know, you don't like whatever. Just, you know, still try to talk, like, get out my face.
Yeah.
So, type thing. So,
but so how'd you come out to your mom and dad?
You are listening to the LRI Infinity Let's Talk podcast. That's LRI Let's Talk on Instagram. hit me up and DM me with your comments and questions.
They kind of already knew because it was like at that time I had a computer and I used to Skype them every night. And she was I was in her room and I was just like, hey, this is my girlfriend, whatever. It's like, okay, like whatever. But they kind of already knew at that time I was just playing, saying it was my girlfriend, how we were playing or whatever. But it ended up, I honestly still didn't come out to myself because I had a best friend, her name is JoJo. And she was like, y'all really go together. That's your girlfriend. Y'all could just tell us now. And I was just like, no, we're not. But it actually happened on Valentine's Day. It was Valentine's Day of my freshman year. And
what year was that?
I'm sorry. It was 2012. It was my freshman year. I went and decorated the room and all that stuff. And it was literally, I still feel bad for this day because it was literally just for her because I was still kind of in denial or whatever. I wasn't still sure, but I knew I really, 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 really liked her. But it was like, so I kind of did it for her, but everybody was like, y'all come and see what Jazz did, or whatever. And so then everybody saw it and I was just like, uh-oh. And now everybody saw it. I'm like, okay, now. And then I started picking everything up, trying to get it. She was like, why would you take it apart? Like, why would you take it apart? And I was just like, I kind of felt bad. And she cried and I was just like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't, it was like, it happened so fast. I didn't think that everybody was going to come down to the room and see what I did for Valentine's Day. So I was just like, okay. So now I got to tell everybody I like girls. So it was cool though. It was straight. It was okay.
And you're single now. So you had the one boyfriend in what is it the same one you had in junior high? Same guy?
Yeah, I went with him probably with 3 years. We was together in just high school. It was like my 10th through my freshman year in high school.
Oh, okay. And then you had the one girlfriend. And have you dated or what do you do now?
I'm literally, as they say, I'm in my bag. I'm just working. I date. I have somebody that I talk to, but she stays way in San Angelo, Texas. There's somebody I talk to, but
wait,
other than that,
don't brush over the fact that the girl's in my hometown.
Yeah, she's in San Angelo. She's my best friend. She's Jonisha's cousin. So I've met her before. Like we've had encounters and stuff in Texas when I stayed in Texas, but she we kind of back relapsed. So I've been talking to her for a couple of months now, but it's kind of long distance. So we just talking and going from there with this.
Do you consider yourself sexually enlightened?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, I saw a smile. It'll be awkward, but it's fine because this is your story and I want you to tell it. When you say sexually enlightened, what kind of stuff do you mean?
I would say that because I've, had sex with men and I had sex with women type thing. And like, I'm kind of, I don't know how to describe that. I don't know how to describe that, I don't know how to describe that. I would say I'm enlightened, but I'm very, very, I don't know what's the word. I'm very protective of myself. I'm super, super protective. Like, I'm weird. Like, I'm a weird sexual person, but I like sex, but I'm very weird. Like, I take a long time to have sex with you. We could be talking, like, I would say, let's say my boyfriend, the last guy I was with, we was probably together 6 months before he had sex. Mm-hmm. And like that was a long time. And even the girl I was having sex with, everybody say, wow, I'm super insecure. I don't even take my shirt off. Like, I take my shirt off, but I won't take my bra off. Like, I'm insecure about my breast type stuff. So there's a lot of stuff I'm insecure with. You have to be that person to make me comfortable to do that type of stuff. But I'm like, it's a lot of stuff I'm insecure with, but a couple of liquor shots and stuff like that, I'm a different person. So, but yeah, it just all depends on who the person is. But I'm not the type of one night stand type stuff. I'm like, I'm weird, but with a certain person, it's whatever type thing. I guess that's how you can put it, like that.
So you're a monogamist. That's what that is. You like monogamy because then you can get down with the get down and be comfortable with that person. Yeah. I mean, I stay in between. Like, I definitely I in my 20s was getting it. Like, yep, I was doing my thing. But like, I like when I'm in a monogamous relationship because there's more stuff that you can do. Just period. So yeah, I feel you. I'm enlightened. Yep. What has been your biggest accomplishment thus far?
Graduating college. I didn't want craziness. I didn't want to go to college, honestly. I just wanted to play. I was in love with basketball. Just wanted to play basketball. And they was like, how you going to play basketball, go to college? And how you going to do that if you don't go to college? So I gotta go type thing, but it was really graduating college. Like, I appreciate college so much, and I thank you for that. I appreciate college so much. Like, I met people all over the world. I got friends from Alaska, Trinidad, every state. Like, I know people from Vegas, Japan, all over the place, and I really appreciate that. And they're still my friends now. I still talk to everybody that I was close with. Like, pretty much often. Like, I wouldn't think that when I moved to Alabama they'd fall off or whatever, but I still talk to them all the time.
What's something that overwhelms you?
Stress. With too much stuff. I take everything as my own. I say stress. I don't handle stress well. Like, I'm the last, like, if somebody passed or something bad happened, I'm the last one to know, because I don't handle stress well. Actually, on some personal stuff, I actually have to take medicine for stress because I don't handle it well. It turns into panic attacks. I have real bad chest spasms and all that good stuff. But I don't handle bad news and, like, non-stability stuff. Like, I don't handle that stuff well. And I try to work on it, but that's kind of hard to work on because, yeah, it's kind of hard.
Do you go to therapy?
No, I'm kind of embarrassed to go to therapy about stuff like this. I try to work on it myself.
Because you are a Black girl enlightened, fuck that shit, go to therapy. Like, absolutely go. You'll enjoy it. What's something that you really, really like about yourself right now?
I like that I'm back myself, because it was a point in time where I felt like I just had everything going every which way, and I didn't know what. I was just on the move. Now I'm more calm. I don't know when the last time I've been able to sit down and just enjoy. Like, it was a point in time when I was just moving. I really love that I have a lot of me time. I love myself. Like, I'm old, so I listen to old music. I listen to the OJs, the Whispers. Like, I sit back and I listen to my music. I just love being by myself. I watch funny stuff on comedy shows and on Netflix and stuff. Just like being by myself.
So non-stability overwhelms you, and you're sexually enlightened. You're close to your sister, and your biggest accomplishment thus far, because you're not stopping yet, is graduating college. Are you the first person in your family to graduate college? And I almost didn't even want to ask that, because, like, I feel like that's the question that white America asks Black folks. but in this case, I know the answer. So what'd you say?
Yes, I am. My mom went to college. Like, she went to, like, basically like a community college here and all that good stuff. But because of us, she stopped college or whatever. So she didn't get to finish like she wanted to. So, but I did for her. So I did. And my sister will be next. She'll be done in December. She goes to Jackson State.
Yep. And so both of my babies went to HBCUs or are going. So, and there's something beautiful to be said about HBCUs. It's a cool way to grow up. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I don't meet a stranger, and I adapt well. I can't say that about myself. I really do adapt. I've been there are a lot of different situations. I'm an adapter. I adapt to whatever I'm in. So
okay,
I like that about myself.
What's one of the tough situations you've been in that you feel like you've adapted well?
I would say this is crazy. Having an uncomfortable living situation. It was like, it's the smallest thing, but it's a big thing. So I was living with this guy. And I was living with this guy. Well, me and my girlfriend at the time, we was living with this guy because we couldn't get an apartment in our name at that time. So he had a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, a whole empty room, another bathroom. So I was like, cool. Yeah, split rent. His rent was pretty cheap to be in Austin. It was like $700. So that's cheap in Austin. That's super, super cheap in Austin. And it was on Riverside. So I was like, yes. And it was an income-based apartment. It was like, I was like, yes. So yes. And it had a washer and dryer, and we were paying like $1,000 on Riverside and Oratory, right there by AAA. We was paying $1,000 for an apartment. That didn't even come with a washer and dryer. So $700 was like, yes. But the guy, he was a frat, so he played, so there's always people over the house, which was fine. I didn't care about the people, but he was super loud, he was super dirty, and I'm terrified of dogs, and he knew that. And the week after I was staying there, he went and got a dog. It wasn't no little dog. It was a big Doberman dog, so it was a huge dog, so it was very uncomfortable. So before I walk in the house, I'm having to knock on the door and say, where's the dog? Before I go to the kitchen, I'm having to say, where's the dog? And that, like, I know that some people are like, man, you talking about a dog. But to me, I don't like animals. So that was very, very uncomfortable. And there's somewhere I had to lay my head. So I couldn't walk out the room like as freely as I wanted to. And I had to deal with it for almost a year. So that, yes. But I worked with it. I just, made the best out of what it was. I went to work a lot. I did favor. I just stayed out the house as much as possible. So, but yeah, I adapted to it. Unfortunately, I had to adapt to
it. Yeah, that's fucked up. And one of my pet peeves is when you tell somebody you don't like something, especially an animal, and they're like, oh, it doesn't bite, oh, it's nice. Because I've had somebody say that, and the dog like went ham on me. Like, I dropped down and played dead. I was like, that's the only thing I knew how to do, like, because I didn't want it attacking me. So I was like, I don't know where I saw it. I find the dumbest shit. And it was like, play dead and the dog will leave you alone. So I just dropped down. I don't even remember what happened. I don't even remember. Okay. Oh my God. I was an idiot in my 20s. Okay. What's something that you wish you liked about yourself?
I wish that I was more secure in myself. I wish that, like I was saying earlier, I wish that I had more. I wish that I influenced myself more. Like, I wish that I was my biggest hype man. Like, I wish I hyped myself more. Like, encouraged myself more to do a lot of stuff. Because I have so much stuff that, like my friends think, y'all like, bro, all you got to do is this, that, and I, do that. Like, bro, you know how to do that? Like, yeah, like, but I don't do it for myself, So I wish I could just stop sleeping on myself. That's me.
What is something that you feel like you've learned a little bit too late?
Oh, budgeting. Definitely budgeting. Definitely budgeting. Like, oh my gosh, if I knew what I knew now, like, I'd probably be still in Austin, living and fine, perfectly fine. Like, if I knew what I knew now, like, then it's just like, you got to check, blow it. Like, don't save, just blow it. Like, pay your bills and then do whatever you want to do. No, I shouldn't have been doing it. I shouldn't have been doing it at all. And at that time in Austin, I had like 3 or 4 jobs. Like, I know at one point I was doing favor, had the lighting technician, I was work study, and I had a job at the cleaners. There's no way I should have been putting money back. I should have been putting money back and saving. Like, I was doing a lot and just blew it.
So what have you learned about saving?
It's the key. It's key. It's definitely key. And it helps. Like, my brother always tell me, save for a rainy day. Like, just had an incident with my car. And I was just like, oh my God, I don't have it. But I had it put back in my savings. I didn't have it in my account, but I have it in my savings to go. I didn't want to dig in there to get it, but it's done. It's done, and I had it to save. A couple of years ago, I wouldn't have had it. I would just been stressing. So it works out, and I appreciate saving, and yeah, definitely.
And
save.
You save. You learn to save.
I learned to save. I definitely learned to save.
Yeah, I learned that. Then I unlearned it. Then I learned it again.
And I got that from you, actually, counting quarters and stuff. So even saving my change and stuff. I have 2 changes. I saved my silver coins and I have my pennies. I actually learned that from you. So I've been doing it a lot too. Yeah, for real.
Let's see here. Who is the most toxic person you've ever known, and how has it affected you?
Toxic person. Yeah. I have to go all the way back to high school. My last coach, he really was a Debbie Downer. It was a favoritism. He made me lose my love for the game of basketball. And that was my blood, sweat, and tears. I played basketball since I was 2 years old. Mm-hmm. And after him, I didn't get any player time. It was a favoritism, and it just made me feel like crap. And I just lost love for the game. I lost love for the game, and I hate that because it's not even the same. Like, I don't even watch the playoffs like I used to. And it took a big toll because that was my everything. Like, I didn't have an extra career. I didn't know how to do anything else but play basketball. Like, everybody have extra talents and stuff. So that took a big toll on me, that right there.
Okay, well, what do you feel like your talents are now?
Now, I'm working with kids is definitely one of my biggest talents, I'll say. But as far as like something like a hobby or whatever, I'm still searching for it. I actually am. I'm still searching for another hobby.
Okay, so I hear you saying a lot about like you're refining yourself. Mm-hmm. You're somewhat reinventing yourself because you have to do all that reset to get back to where you want to be. So that's a lot of work. It is. So what are you doing for self-love to take care of yourself?
I pray a lot. I do a lot of I pray a lot. I do a lot of self-talk, and I do motivate myself talking wise, but as far as moving, I don't do that as far. But I pray a lot, and I sit back and self-evaluate. I'm like, hey, Jazz, that didn't work. Okay, what did you do? I don't look at anybody else. I look at myself. I'm like, what did you do? If you did this would have went that way. So I self-evaluate, and I pray, and I go from there. And that's been working a lot. I see a lot of changes by doing that.
Okay. How do you see yourself?
How do I see a person that has a lot of potential that doesn't use it? Okay. That needs to, yeah.
What impression do you try to give when you first meet somebody?
I don't know, because I would say that I'm shy, but I really am shy until you get to know me. Like, I really am shy. Like, I'm shy. I don't like speaking in front of people. I don't like, being extra. I don't like just say when I first started my job, we had to read out loud in front of everybody. I'm like, I gotta talk in front of these people. I don't even know them, But I try to give off that I'm cool and all that good stuff, but I'm really shy.
Okay, so what impression do you actually think that they get?
Did they get that I'm not shy? A lot of people, like, when they first impression, they think I'm cool. They think I'm cool and I'm outgoing and all that stuff, which is all true. It's not cocky, but I'm kind of hard not to love type thing. Like, I'm not, I'm me. I don't try to make everybody feel comfortable around me. Like, I kind of adapt to what type of personality you have type thing.
What's something that you're celebrating in your friendships right now? Like, I heard you talk about all these friends you met when you were at Houston-Tillotson University and how diverse they were, and you're surprised that you're still talking to them and that y'all are communicating. So what are you celebrating in your friendships?
Oh my God, my friends in Austin are doing the thing. Like, that's why I'm ready to get back. I was like, everybody, my friends, I'm gonna just give out 3 of my good friends. Jonisha right now, she called herself stopping college to work on her music. She's actually now she's deep into her music. She's actually making music videos. She's starting to get on her tours and stuff. I'm super, super proud of her. I have another friend, James.
Hold on, before you move forward, shout out your friend's Insta or Twitter or whatever.
Okay, Jonisha is Miss JoJo Yes on Instagram, SoundCloud, all that good stuff.
What kind of music?
She does R&B. She does rap. She's really I love to see her freestyle. She does a lot of ciphers and stuff, and I'll be posting those soon as she drop them, because I stay on her. So I've been staying on her and fussing her because she keeps sending me snippets of stuff, but there's no videos yet. So I've been staying on her about going ahead and posting her stuff. But it's Miss JoJo Yes, and there's YAS, it's not YESS. But yeah, so she's working on her music. I'm super, super proud of her. It took her a minute, but I'm super, super proud of her doing that.
So what? It's MSJOJOYA.
SS.
All
And there
right,
was it was, the slang, yeah. So she added that at the end, Miss JoJo, yeah. So yeah, I'm proud of her. And James, when I was in Austin, I also did a promotion team, which is called Sugar Shack Promotion, and they're still going strong. With Sugar Shack, they're doing amazing. We're still throwing parties. We actually have branched off to Gold Grill ATX. He's making jewelry and grills and stuff now. So I'm super proud. I have to send my mold off because I gotta, give me a grill too. So, so yeah, I'm super proud of James and Vegas as well, in Japan. James, and that's crazy because they call us by where we're from. In Texas, they call me Bama. I have a friend, his name is Richard. They call him Japan. And Johnny, they call him Vegas. So it's Bama, Japan, and Vegas. And James, he's from Dallas, but we just call him Sweet James. We just call him Sweet James. But yeah.
Oh, those were all my babies. Y'all were all like freshmen together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we still rocking strong. Hold on, I cannot leave Devin out. And Devin has Endless Perception. He's still doing his clothing label, and it's called Endless Perception.
Endless Perception?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And what kind of clothes are those?
It's just regular baggy clothes, just regular baggy denim baggy and denim clothes that he does.
Okay. It sounds like your friends are all entrepreneurs and that you are the backing source to that. Somebody told me the other day, you should consider consulting because that makes money too. Just giving your ideas. Our counterparts get paid to do it. We got to figure it out. Yeah. What's a moment, Jazz, that has like impacted your life?
I would have to say we had, right before I went to college, we had a horrible tornado. That day opened up my eyes for a lot. My whole city was ruined after that tornado. So it's just like stuff could be taken. My city still is not the same since then. And it's like that still affects me a lot because I still don't know my way around the city because everything is still getting built up and new. And that happened in 2012. Mm-hmm. That happened in 2012. And when I say stuff still isn't the same since then, that really impacted me. It did. Because it's like everything could be gone then. And we were super blessed because literally where I stay at, the whole apartment complex next door was flat. There was nothing left. Everybody, that tree fell on their house, fell on their house, and it was ruined. We had the biggest tree in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and it did not fall on our house. It fell the other way. So that blessing there, it like opened up my eyes to a lot of stuff. I don't take anything for granted, and I'm super cautious on everything just because of that. Like I'm super, super cautious.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. I wasn't living in Tuscaloosa, but I remember going back for homecoming. Is it the one I took you back for? Remember when I took you back for homecoming?
Yes, and we missed the flight. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Hush your mouth, little girl. But I remember riding through the city and I started crying because, like, man, Tuscaloosa used to be my jam. So, like, I could rip and run. I knew all the back streets. I knew what street to turn on to miss a stop sign, to get here, how to come up through the back of Checkers, where everything was. And I remember it was gone. Yeah, it was gone. It was flat. I didn't know where anything was. You remember the tavern where Ken and Hib and all them used to live? So it was right back behind Checkers.
Buffalo Wild. I thought it was behind Buffalo Wild.
It was right behind that Checkers across from that Jerry Mike's or whatever. Yeah.
And guess what? Sharks is there now. Crazy, right?
Where Checkers?
Yes. They have Sharks right there. They have Sharks, a sex store, and a insurance place right there now. Yes. That's crazy. I know. What? Yes, and where Checkers used to be is flat. It's nothing in that parking lot anymore. I think they're about to tear down that Dollar General and all that good stuff. They're about to tear down all that stuff. There's nothing there.
That's crazy. If you could ask a single person one question and they had to answer truthfully, what would the question be? Who would it be and why?
Wow.
Are you enjoying what you're hearing? Follow us on Instagram at LRI Let's Talk.
You? It'll be you. It'll be you.
She's sitting up, y'all. She's sitting up.
No, it'll just be really more on like now, like how you told me, was like, I'm gonna move to Houston and I was starting my own business. I'm like, shoot, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to move back to Austin and start my own business. Just like, how did you jump out on faith? Like, were you scared? That's my thing. I'm super scared of myself. Like, were you scared? How did you financially do it? Did you get grants? How did you start? What did you start? And what made you just say, forget it, I'm just gonna go?
I'm gonna cry. So, let's see. Since my dad passed, I spent my year in 2018 just really struggling. And just like this kind of auto thing, you just go into it and you do it. Like, I had a website launch and I had what did I have? I had a website launch. I had so I did an art series reveal. I raised like the most money I'd raised for my nonprofit, Whole Planet Foundation. And then the job I was at, I was just literally unhappy. And every job that I ever had, as soon as I felt like I wasn't being valued or I was unhappy, I left. And I know people criticize that, especially older people, as millennials, and they're like, you're selfish. But I think that we are self-caring. And so I stepped back, and prior to my dad passing, me and my mom and dad had always talked about me and businesses, and me always being this quote unquote free spirit and doing what I want, and enjoying life. And for 10 months I wasn't enjoying life, and I was like, fuck that. Like, people in my family lived to 100. My dad died at 60, so I felt robbed. I felt so robbed. And so I was just like, I had wanted to move to Houston for like 3 years, so I was like, fuck it. I was like, hey mom, like, love you. No, I don't have the savings I had when I was in my 20s because I was dumb and in love and did some dumb shit, but I'm amazing, I'm smart, I'm talented, like, what's up? So like, we ended up moving. I put in my resignation, and we ended up moving, and it literally has been faith and like one of the rules that I have been using, because one, like, as soon as you decide to go into business, I feel like you have to claim it. Because I can't say, oh, I have a business. It may not be where I want to be. It may not be a brick and mortar. Everybody may not respect it, but I have a business, bitches. Like, people are paying me to do stuff. And so I have to respect that. So one is me respecting it. Two was literally just having the faith and taking the faith and deciding that the faith was stronger than the fear. And anytime I want to talk myself out of something, I'm like, nah, Gina, fuck that. Like, no, like, this is what it is. Don't be fearful. Go do it. Because the more I'm doing this business thing, the more I learn that if I'm not willing to do it for myself, nobody else is going to do it for me.
True.
And in another whole different type of way, because like, as that person that's a cheerleader for people, I'm never going to get that type of cheerleading, because I'm just a genuine individual, and not saying everybody isn't, but like, my spirit is different. So I'm learning to be my own cheerleader. I'm learning to put in place mentors that are actually actionable, and that actually support me and are actually my fans. And I'm having a lot of faith, and I'm just going for it. Cause like, at the end of the day, if it fails, like, I have degrees, motherfucker. Like, I can go get a job. And it may not be the job that I love, but I can go make money. But like, I'm blessed right now. So I'm just doing it cause I have to. So I'm not miserable.
Feel that. I like that. I could take that and run with it.
Okay, so why did you pick that question?
Cause that's what's next. That's definitely what's next. That's definitely what's next. Like you said, I need to just step out on faith. That's that. Because if I keep procrastinating and keep saying, "Oh, this is what I want to do. That's what I want to open a business," I ain't gonna never do it.
Yeah.
Not gonna ever do it. Yeah. So it's time to just step out. Once I get a couple more in my savings, I'm just gonna go. Gonna go.
And,
but it's gotta have the money though.
Yeah. Well, also be aware of that, because it'll always be a if I just or if I'm going to. And I know it sounds super faux pas to step out on faith, but faith is nothing without preparation. And I think the faithful get ready. So you always need to be ready for your blessings, and use the faith to motivate you and drive you. But I want a business to be successful, and you're sitting on your ass all day isn't a thing. So I obsessively watch YouTube videos, and if I get tired of watching them about small businesses, I watch them about how to make my podcast, launch at the top. And I write down ideas and I design things. So I'm always doing something. So yeah, it's just, it's a faithful journey, but it has to be learned in and prepared. And the work has to be behind it. And so my big rule is that I'm not going to let my fear stop me. Like, I'm like, okay, as soon as I'm scared of it, that's when I do it. I'm like, shit, yeah.
Yes. I got that for Emily. That's the quote. She was like, fear ends where faith begins. And I definitely believe that. That's definitely a good quote for me.
A good one. Fear is where faith begins. I appreciate you being on the show. I appreciate you being
for having me.
Transparent and open with me. I know that's not always easy in our times where we are supposed to be protected and keep charging forward. And I thank everybody for listening and taking your time to be with us today. And as always, tell your story, be your own brand, live your truth, and stand in your moment.
All right, y'all. My name is Jazlyn. I'm 26 years old. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my story. You just listen to my story as I live my truth and stand in my moment on the LRI Infinity Let's Talk podcast.
Appreciate it.
Have you ever looked at somebody or their circumstances and wondered, how would I juggle the loss of one child, the birth of another child, being in a new job, finishing my doctorate degree, and being in a new marriage? Next time, my friend Camille will be sharing her journey and telling her story on the LRI Infinity Let's Talk podcast.